All right, let's get started here. Like I said in my email, I've been teaching for forever in person, and now that I'm on the road all the time, I've had to sort of retool myself and figure out how I can get back to teaching more than just doing mini lessons at regionals and things like that. So I've come up with this webinar idea, and you're the first group that I'm working with, so I would love your feedback at the end of all of this. What we're going to be doing today is talking about hands that I think are definitely have more than one option when deciding whether to bid or overcall, pass, or double. And so I've got a whole mixture of there. There's no one thing in here. And what we'll be doing is I'll be working through the slides. We'll have a hand. I'm going to bring up the first hand and just take you sort of on a tour of what we'll be doing. The bidding is up in the top left-hand corner. Oops, let me get back to the first hand here. Up here, and we see that South dealt and open one club, and West doubles, and North passes, and this is our hand in the center. This is what we'll be talking about on this particular hand. So now you can see the whole screen, and you should be able to see me in your left-hand corner. If you want to type a question, then you can just use the chat box to the right on your control center. If you don't want all those controls sitting there, just click on the little orange tab in the top left-hand corner. And can everyone hear me? Let's practice chatting. Just say, I can hear you, or I can't hear you. It may be you need to turn your speakers sounds up. I can see some questions. All right, I see okay. I can hear you, yes, good. Are we awake? Have we been to Starbucks? I haven't been to Starbucks, by the way. I'm on the West Coast. I'm in Irvine, California this week. Last week I was on the East Coast. Good. I see. Oh, 2 coffees. Good. I could use one about now. And I think we have people from all over the country, all over the world, actually. I know a couple of people that have signed up from Australia, and I don't even know what time it is there. And one in England. I know it's later in the day there, so they've had plenty of coffee. But we are from all over the country and different time zones. And I'll be working on different webinars during different parts of the day, so hopefully everyone will get a chance to join in on the conversation. As you know, my passion is teaching, and I love talking about bridge. And so we'll go ahead with the first hand. Can't see me. Let me work on that. I should be in the left-hand corner of your box. I'll have to work on that while we're going through here. There's probably some kind of control on your computer that allows you to see me. Okay, good. Well, others are saying they can see me fine, but might be just your computer. Okay, so let's get started with the first hand. We still have people joining us, so we'll take it a little bit slower at first. I've got 16 hands for us to do this morning. And if you have to cut off to make a bridge game, I certainly understand that. And like I said, feedback is great. And if you have questions as we go along, I'll try to answer them. But let's get started. The first hand, South opened one club, West doubled, and North passed. And here's our hand. We have King Jack 10 5th of spades, King third of hearts, Singleton diamond, and Jack fourth of clubs. So this is a hand evaluation problem. In this hand, where do we know our partner has with their takeout double? This is how I would be thinking about it. Okay, partner is showing the majors. They're saying they want to play in some kind of major suit, either spades or hearts, at least 4. On some hands, though, maybe they have 3 of one major and 4 of the other major. It depends. If they have an opening hand and they want to get in the auction, then they will tend to make a takeout double and maybe only have 3 in one and 4 in the other. On this hand, though, we've got 5 spades. So we know no matter how many spades partner has, we want to play spades. That's not the issue here. The issue is, how do we tell our partner our points? Do we want to show a 0 to 8 point hand or a 9 to 11 point hand? And it comes down to hand evaluation. So I would say, okay, I like my shape. I have a singleton diamond. That's a good thing. The Jack of clubs, though, I would subtract that out because South, my opponent, has opened 1 club. Any secondary honors that you have in the club suit, you want to subtract those out. Secondary honors being queens and jacks. They're not any good anymore. Okay, so our 8 high card points has gone down to 7 right away. But I would upgrade my King of Hearts. Instead of giving it 3 points, I would give it 4 points because I know my partner has lengthened hearts. So now I'm back to 3, 6, 7, 8 high card points. Now I want to give myself an extra point for the spade. It's very likely that we've got 9 spades, but even if we only have 8 spades, I would want to upgrade my hand. And I would actually call this a 9 to 11 point hand. Now to show this opposite a takeout double, you would want to jump a level. So the auction would go 1 club, double, pass, 2 spades by east. 2 spades would say, partner, I have at least 4 spades. Doesn't show the 5th spade. There's oftentimes there's a myth out there that jumping opposite a takeout double shows extra length in your suit, when actually all it shows is extra points in your hand. So 1 spade would be 0 to 8, and I think this hand is too good for that. I would upgrade it and count it as a 9 to 11 point hand and bid 2 spades with it. Now, opposite my 2 spade bid, my partner as West, the takeout doubler, would be in charge now. I've now shown them 9 to 11 points, and they would decide, okay, do we want to play in part score or do we want to play in game? But I've told my story. If it came back and partner raised my 2 spades to 3 spades, I'd say, you know what, I stretched to get to 2 spades originally, so that's all I've got, and I would pass 3 spades. If partner bids 4 spades, I'm quite happy to be playing the hand in 4 spades. I think I'd have a good shot, even though you know, I'm on the minimum of my hand here. Are there any questions on that particular hand? I see we've got lots more attendees now. If you've just joined us, on your control box there, if you don't want it on the screen, you can just click the little orange arrow at the top, and that will make it go away and you can see the whole screen. But I've designed the layout so that you can see everything on the screen and still have your control box up there. Also, the handout that goes along with this, it's a PDF version, and you can download it and print it off and take notes on that if you want to. Okay, let's see. We've got some questions here. The extra link should count for more than just 1 point for the card. Okay. Well, we've already counted the King Jack of spades. And if we knew for sure partner had 4 spades for their takeout double, then I would say you could probably add a couple of points for having that 5 card suit opposite your partner's 4 card suit. But not knowing for sure they've got 4 spades, because that takeout double, they may only have 3 spades and 4 hearts. So you can't really you can't really upgrade it until you know what partner's hand is. So I wouldn't want to, you know, and even if I gave an extra point for 2 points for the 5 card suit opposite the takeout double, on this hand I would still be in the 9 to 11 point hand, and I'd still only bid 2 spades. But that's a good point. If you know you have a 9 card fit opposite a takeout double, say South opened 1 heart and your partner said double, so now they're guaranteeing 4 spades unless they come back and show extra points, then you know you've got a 9 card fit. Now you can actually give an extra point for that, an extra 2 points for the 5 card suit. But on this particular auction where the opponents opened a minor, it's suspect whether partner's got 4 spades or not. So I would just give it 1 point for the 5th card. Good question there. Let's see, Joan, I don't see any orange arrow. Somehow do you see the control box on the right-hand side of your screen? It's there. I'm not sure what's going on in your screen, but it should be in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Can you hear me? Okay. Let's continue on. Maybe I'll figure out if North bid a spade, should East bid a no trump to show spade stoppers? Okay. So what if the auction went, if North bid a spade? I'm not sure I understand this question here. Hold on. I think maybe you mean if South opened 1 spade and partner doubled and North passed. With this hand, yes, I would bid a no trump to show spade stoppers. Absolutely. And I would only bid 1 no trump. 1 no trump opposite a takeout double would show 8 to 10 points, which is pretty much what I have here. And I'm very heavy in the spades. So yes, if South opened 1 spade, if I'm understanding your question, I would respond 1 no trump with this hand on the screen. All right, let's try hand number 2 here. Here we go. All right, in this hand, we're holding the East hand, and North opens 1 heart, East doubles, South passes, West bids 2 spades, North comes in with 3 hearts. He's not done yet, and now it's back to us. Now, I think everyone would agree with the takeout double over 1 heart, right? It's just showing shortness in hearts, and it's 4 spades and an opening hand. This is the opposite. This would be the opposite hand where partner has now responded 2 spades to our takeout double, showing 9 to 11 points, and we're trying to decide if we want to continue on to game. So here's another hand evaluation problem. This is really what the experts think about, how they get these point-on hands right. The Queen Jack of Hearts, as we discussed in the very first hand, those would go away. Those secondary honors would go away because our opponent has bid hearts. Okay, so even though we've started life with, let's see, 10 in the diamond suit, 6 in the spade suit, 16, 19 high card points, we'd actually downgrade and subtract away 3 points here. But we still have enough opposite partners 9 to 11 to want to take it to game. Okay, so with this hand, I would rebid 4 spades over my partner's 2 spades, knowing they have 9 to 11 points. I just wouldn't think slam was in the realm here anymore, because my Queen Jack of Hearts, I would subtract those out and not think they were any good. Any questions on this hand? That one was rather quick. No, that makes sense. If you were to bid 3 spades, 2 spades, 3 spades would say, okay, partner, if you're at the if you're more at the 11 point range, let's go ahead and bid 4 spades. But with 16 highs here, and knowing partner's got at least 4 spades, we'd want to go ahead and put it in game opposite, even if partner had only 9 points. That would be sufficient. So that old saying that a lot of you guys have heard is the one who knows goes. And so East on this hand would definitely want to just go ahead and put it in game. Dreaming about slam on this hand wouldn't get us anywhere, except too high, maybe. Okay, let's try a new hand here. Okay, our partner has opened 1 no trump, and West is passed. And I know that our group is playing all sorts of different systems. So when we get to a hand where there may be different systems involved, I'll be sure to talk about it from all angles. So whether you're playing 2/1 or whether you're playing Standard American or any other systems that may be out there, you can let me know what your system is, and we could talk through it. So I'll give you a second just to think about what would you do with this hand. If your partner opened 1 no trump, South opened one no trump, and West passes, what would you like to do with this hand? What are you thinking about? And you can go ahead and type in your different answers here using your chat bar or your question bar. Yeah, a lot of us are saying Stayman. If you play Stayman, that would say, hey partner, do you have a 4-card major? I have eight or more points, and at least 1 4-card major. It definitely wouldn't be wrong. On this particular hand, though, I would actually not bid Stayman. This is that ugly duckling suit a shape where it's 4 333, and there's no roughing values, no trumping values. On this type of hand, I think, okay, what would be a better contract? Would 3 no be a better contract? Or even if partner has 4 spades with me, would 4 spades be the better contract? Okay, that's what I would be thinking in my hand. Now, what types of shapes do we know partner has? They've opened 1 no trump. All right, so they're either 5-3-3-2, 4-4-3-2, or 4-3-3-3. So at most, they've got 1 doubleton in their hand. Okay, now, yes, there are some hands that we open 1 no trump when we're 5-4-2-2, when we've got doubletons in the majors and 9 cards in the minors, because those hands are really hard for rebids. Yeah, and someone said, I thought no shortness, no Stayman. And that's the idea. If you are balanced with this type of hand, 4-3-3-3, that exact shape, you could be 3-4-3-3, 1 4-card major and 3-card suits everywhere else. What you want to do is just bid no trump, bid the number of no trump. In this case, we know we have game, opposite partners 15 to 17 no trump. So we respond 3 no trump to play because of the lack of roughing values, okay? The whole idea of Stayman, the reason that George Rapay developed Stayman to begin with, was the idea that you could make extra tricks in the major suit contract by trumping. And if partner has at most 1 doubleton and our hand has no doubletons at all, that's not going to create any extra tricks. So it turns out that it's easier to take 9 tricks than 10 tricks when there are no trumping values. Right, and someone said, and not to give the opponents any clues about the lead. Well, that's for sure. If it went 1 no past 2 clubs, Stayman, which a lot of us want, and it wouldn't be wrong to Stayman. What we're talking about this morning, this is just a high level idea. We know Stayman means we've got a 4-card major. We're just talking about just fine tuning our bidding. So if we were to bid 2 clubs and the opponents, they're very unlikely to double for a club lead here since we're holding the ace, king, third of clubs. But if our minors were reversed, say we had ace, king, third of diamonds and 3 little clubs, then we wouldn't want to Stayman particularly and have them double for a lead. But having said that, this is very much an exception to Stayman. Anytime you've got a 4-card major, if you've got a doubleton, I mean, if you've got shortness, some kind of shortness in your hand, you want to go ahead and Stayman. The idea of trying to play hide the ball with the opponents and not give them lead information. If you belong in a major suit contract, you want to get to that major suit contract if there's roughing values. It's so and what happens when I talk about this kind of thing, and yes, one of the comments was even if you had 9, 8, 7, 6 in your major, yes, even though if you had a super weak major, if you've got a doubleton somewhere in your hand, you want to go ahead and Stayman. because now your contract of 3 no could be in jeopardy because you have a doubleton and partner has a doubleton in the same suit, and you ended up having a 4-4 fit. It's just this particular shape that you want to go ahead and ignore your major and bid 2 no showing 8 to 9 points, or 3 no showing 10 to 15 points. 4 no would be 16 points, that kind of thing. If you play some of us play 2 no as a transfer to the minors, so you would then actually have to go through Stayman and then bid 2 no. So there are other methods out there that fix that kind of that flaw, because going back to, you don't want to give the opponents information on what to lead. We try to avoid Stayman when we don't need to. But on this hand, definitely bidding 3 no right away would end the auction, and the opponents would definitely be on a guess. They may even lead a spade. That would be nice for you on this hand. So anyway, that's just a high level tip there. When you're 4-3-3, when you've got what we call the ugly duckling shape, go ahead and don't bid Stayman. No shortness, no Stayman idea. Okay, let's try a new one. Okay, on this hand, we're going to start with a pass, and South is going to open a diamond. Our partner doubles this time, and North bids 3 diamonds. Okay, so it's gone a diamond on our left, double by partner, 3 diamonds on our right to us. This one's a tricky one. What I would be thinking is, okay, my partner's got some majors, got some values. I think, again, maybe they're 4-3 in the majors, so I wouldn't want to commit to one of my majors on this hand, but I definitely want to bid. I'm interpreting North's 3 diamond bid as preemptive. A lot of people play that. I would definitely look at their convention card, though, because sometimes you get fooled when you make assumptions that it's weak or not. But I would tell you that in this auction, North's 3 diamond bid is meant as preemptive, so less than an invitational hand. And so I would love to say, which 4-card major do you have, partner? And on this particular hand, there is a double called responsive double. It's a very specific situation. It's when the opponents have bid and raised a suit. That's the key. The opponents have bid and raised a suit, and either partner has overcalled or they've doubled, like they have in this situation. So my double here would say I have basically a constructive hand, 8 to 10 points, and I've got both majors. I can support any suit you want to bid, partner. And that throws it back to West in this case to bid which 4-card major. If they did make a takeout double with 3 spades and 4 hearts, or 4 spades and 3 hearts, then they will now bid their 4-card major knowing that we've got both. Okay, so it's called a responsive double. You can teach your partner how to do this. It's very specific, though. The opponents have to have bid and raised the suit. Okay, so 1 heart double, one diamond double, 1 heart double would not be responsive there because they haven't bid and raised the suit. Redouble. Do you mean redouble? No, not redouble, because there's been 3 diamonds. I can't redouble my partner. So 3 diamonds double here. I would double with this hand. Pass 1 diamond double, 3 diamonds double. To say I've got 4-4 in the majors and 8 to 10 points. It would have to be, if I were, yeah, just say double here. And that throws it back to partner. We could bid 3 hearts, and that would show our hand, 8 to 10 points and 4 hearts. And we could bid 3 spades, and that would show our hand. But then we may get in a situation where partner only has 3 of the major that we chose. So it's just a more accurate bid. Again, 3 hearts and 3 spades wouldn't be wrong, but as a safety play, sort of, you know, partner, I've got both of them, so you let me know which one you have. You would bid, if you had a 5-card major, you would go ahead and bid your suit instead of doubling. So if you had 5 spades, you go ahead and bid 3 spades because you know partner has at least 3 spades for their takeout double. Or if you had 5 hearts, you would go ahead and bid 3 hearts to show the 5th heart. If you're not using a responsive double, if you haven't added the responsive double to your card now, respond in your lower major. So you would bid 3 hearts with this hand. That gives partner space if they were doubling and originating. Say they had a 17-point hand with a long spade suit, and their plan was to double and then come back and bid spades. By responding in hearts, that allows them to bid 3 spades at the 3 level. If they were doubling and originating in hearts, now they would have to respond at the 4 level. So anytime that you're picking between 2 suits, you have 2 choices. Respond the lower suit. Go up the ladder to give the takeout doubler the most space possible. Let's see, I've got another. Oh, and here's another good question. What if Wes had both majors? The same idea. You would go up the ladder. If you were equal length in both majors, then over the double by East, in this case, South would pass. Wes would bid 3 hearts, or perhaps Wes would bid 4 hearts if they had a larger than minimum hand. Your responsive double is showing 8 to 10-ish, so they can gauge whether they want to play in just part score or if they want to take it to game. Game is certainly possible on this hand because North has very, very little points with their 3 diamond bid. All North is promising there is at least 5 diamonds, and you know, could be as few as 3 points. So you have to be aggressive when you're in East chair when they make this kind of preempt against you, and make sure that you have some kind of tool to get in. And if you don't have the responsive double, like I said, just bid your lower 4-card suit up the line. And if you do make the responsive double, then Wes would bid their 4-card suits up the line. Let's see. Could you bid 4 diamonds? Cupid saying I have both. If you had more values, if you had enough values to bid to be in game. So if you had 13 points, an opening hand, you could bid 4 diamonds to say pick a major partner, and it would be more towards, you know, I've definitely got game and I'm interested in slam. Well, if you don't know what a bid means, what you want to do is either look at the convention card or ask. It's either a limit raise, so you know, good 10, 11, 12-point hand, bad 12-point hand. When I say 12-point hands like that, I mean that it's a 12-point hand that you wouldn't open. It's scattered queens and jacks, that kind of thing. But the more common application, the more you play, is that it's a preemptive bid. So you would have to, you need to ask. Anytime there's a jump bid, you should check and see what it is before you make a call, if you're planning on making a call. If you were sitting there with the East hand and you had no high card points and you couldn't care less about this hand, we all know those kinds of hands, then you wouldn't want to bother to ask, because that's just letting the opponents tell each other what they think their bids mean. Unfortunately, this 3 diamond bid would not be alertable, because nowadays it's common bid that a jump raise over a takeout double is preemptive. So you wouldn't be alerted to the fact that the 3 diamonds was weak there. You have to protect yourself. That's what they say. I don't really get that so much, but you have to protect yourself and ask. So I would just say a good general rule is if you've got some values in your hand and you're thinking about bidding, then you want to ask the opponent what their bid means first. Also, you know, some common sense. Sometimes you can figure it out just by common sense. If South has an opening hand, let's give them 13 points. And West has a takeout double. So let's give them 13 points. That's 26. And we're looking at 8 points here. That's 34. That leaves only about 6 points out there. Now, within a point or two, South could have 12, West could be doubling with shortness kind of thing. But it's pretty impossible for North to have a limit raise on this particular auction if everyone else is telling the truth. So sometimes, you know, you may think something doesn't make sense here. And in these types of auctions, by the way, I always trust partner. As far as their double, maybe South is messing with me, maybe North is messing with me, but I'm going to take partner for what they have. I don't ever doubt my partner. Now, if they trick me, then that's, you know, shame on them. But the next hand, I will go and I'll trust my partner. If anyone is there, if anyone is messing with me, I consider it my opponent and not my partner. Okay, let's try a new hand here. Okay, hand number 5. This is a good one. Okay, here you have North's hand, and West has opened 1 spade. So let me just give you, take about 30 seconds and decide the different options, what you might bid with this hand. And you can type it in and let me know what you're thinking. It helps me to answer questions and talk about the hand if I know what you're thinking about in the process. Yeah, I see lots and lots and lots and 1 no trumps. And actually, that's ultimately what I would bid with this hand. 1 no trump here, standard, would be 15 to 18. We actually include the 18-point hands in our no trump overcalls. And the reason for that is that West is already opened, showing around, let's just give them 13 for average sake, 12 to 14 points, but let's say 13. And if we have 18, then that's 31 points. That doesn't leave very many points between partner and East in this case. So this is a 15-point hand. This is what I would be thinking. Okay, I've got 15 highs. I have an ugly duckling shape. Okay, so when you've got a bad shape, you need even more points to make a contract because you're working on high card points versus length points. Length points are always better because they're extra tricks. In this case, I would want, when I have a minimum 15 count and a weak hand, a balanced hand like this, I will shy away from overcalling 1 no trump unless I have a double stopper. In this kind of hand, I would assume I'm going to get 2 spade tricks with Queen Jack 10 8 of spades. And so I would overcall a no trump. The other key here is I'm not vulnerable. If I were vulnerable, I might consider bidding something else, including a pass, because of my bad shape and my weakness. I've found, and I've heard other experts talking about, when you overcall 1 no trump vulnerable with a minimum 15 and a bad shape, it usually ends up not in your favor. It goes double, or they let you play 1 no trump vulnerable and you go down 2 tricks, right? So sometimes with this type of hand, if I were vulnerable or I didn't have a double stopper in the opponent's open suit, then I would choose a pass instead of a no trump. I would not double. Double would not cross my mind here because I would be promising 4 hearts. And so I don't lie about my majors. You know, they're times that you lie in bridge. And a lot of you guys that have had me in the classroom, I say this a lot. You know, we lie if we have to lie. We lie about our minors because that doesn't excite partner. But lying about our majors, that's what gets us in trouble. I mean, I can see making a takeout double and partner jumping to 4 hearts, or partner Q bidding and then bidding hearts, and I'm never going to get across to them that I only have 3 hearts in this auction. And sometimes pass is not such a bad bid. You get to listen to the auction and then come back in and make an educated decision rather than first out of the box, okay, my opponent has opened a spade and I don't know what's going on in the rest of the hand. If it goes a spade and you happen to pass, say we were vulnerable with this hand and we decided to pass. That's how close it is, your vulnerability on this hand. And you decided to pass. And it went, say it goes 2 clubs on your right. Well, that means that your partner has no points. Okay, if there's an opening hand here and there's a 2/1 on your right, you're out there all by yourself. And now you're thanking yourself for not bidding 1 no trump. Because if you had bid 1 no trump with this hand, 1 spade, 1 no trump, and East had a 2/1, they would be getting that double card out of that box so fast and slapping it on the table, and you would know you were about to go for your life. But on the other hand, if it goes a spade and you pass and it goes past by East, now your partner is going to come back in and reopen. They're either going to reopen with a double, maybe you pass that for penalties, probably not. You'd probably go ahead and bid no trump at that point. Or maybe they bid hearts to show you that they've got 5 hearts, that kind of thing. So you have more information by taking a pass with this hand at turn 1 and then coming back in later on. One of the best things I ever learned playing with my Italian partner, the guy I play an international competition with, and he's Italian, and they love to pass. They pass a lot. And one of the very first things that times we played together back in 2001, he came across the table at one point, very nice, and reached in my bid box and said, "Oh, good, you do have pass cards in there. I was wondering when you were going to start using them." So Americans like to bid. We do. That's what we do. But I learned from them. And every time we sit down to play, he says, "Now, are we going to play Italian style?" And I say, "Yes, we are." But it's hard because, you know, going back and forth between the styles is different. So yes, I've got 15 highs here, but sometimes it's better to pass and then come back in. Not vulnerable though, I'd want to get my hand across. I would go ahead and bid a no trump with this hand. Vulnerable, I would take a pass and listen to the auction and then come back in. You don't want to lay in the bushes too often because now partner gets tricked. But on this hand, you can tell partner's not going to have very many points because there's been an opening hand there and you've got 15, right? So you're not going to be tricking partner by passing. They weren't planning on bidding to game or bidding to slam with their cards anyway. So it's a safe time to pass and listen and then come back in. But anyway, neither vulnerable on this hand. That was the scenario originally. I would overcall a no trump on it. Okay. Let's see. Yes, pass can be very powerful. And it's actually interesting. If you guys get to watch, the World Championships are coming up in a few weeks in India. I'll be taking off for India on, I guess, September 22nd. And the competitions will be online. And go and watch and see these top experts and see how many hands we would think we'd actually bid on. They pass and then come back in later. It's really educational if you get a chance to watch those kinds of things. I'll send out some links and times and things like that to you guys so you know when to get on and watch. But I love watching high level bridge. You can learn so much from it. And this would be the type of thing where you would see different bids based on vulnerability and actually based on the countries that they come from, the styles that they have, Remember, Americans love to bid. So when you're watching, you'll see us always bidding. So it's more fun. It's sort of like watching a football match instead of a soccer match. You know, the soccer matches don't score very often, but yeah, we like to bid. All right, next hand here. Oh, yes. You might be thinking, why in the world are we talking about this hand? I don't have an honor card in my hand. But it's important. This is high level bidding here. East opens 3 hearts, and South passes, and West bids 4 hearts. Well, South we would pass over 3 hearts. I wasn't trying to get you to bid there. And then West bids 4 hearts, and your partner says double. Okay, now this double is takeout. It's very tricky. At 4 spades and above, the double would be penalty. At under four hearts and under, the double is takeout. And actually, this double is more like cooperative. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before, but cooperative double. If the opponents are in 4 hearts, then your double is cooperative. And I love cooperative doubles because it says, partner, do the right thing. So whatever the right thing may be. So what I wanted to discuss is, what do you do with this type of hand when partner makes a takeout double at a high level? If the auction had gone 3 spades past 4 spades double, then that's for sure penalty. 3 hearts past 4 hearts, double is takeout, would be takeout. The idea is that partner, you can still play 4 spades. Whereas 3 spades past 4 spades double, you have to go to 5 hearts. So that's why it switches between 4 hearts and 4 spades. If you can still play at the same level that you're doubling, then it's takeout. If you're forcing partner to go to a higher level to respond, then it's penalty. Okay, is the logic behind that. So in general, when partner makes a takeout double at a high level, when you've got a balanced hand, this is balanced, you go ahead and pass for penalties, even though you don't have any heart tricks. If you were distributional, say you had 5 spades, then you would go ahead and pull it to 4 spades. Or if you had 6 clubs or 6 diamonds, something that you could tolerate at the 5 level, then you could go ahead and pull, because you don't have any tricks. But let's think about what North's hand's telling us. All right, so North is saying, I've got enough to be in game opposite very little in your hand, partner. Okay, East is preempted. West is more than likely preempted, but they could actually have values with that 4 heart bid. They could have 10 tricks. So North is saying, partner, I would think North has 17 plus, good medium plus kind of hand. It either wants you to pass for if you don't have any long suit, or go ahead and bid your long suit. Either way, they're saying, I think I can set 4 hearts, or I'd like to bid a game if you've got a long suit. In other words, North's hand is balanced. Okay, if they had a long suit themselves, they would bid it. They wouldn't start with a double. So you're talking about balanced hand opposite balanced hand, which doesn't take a lot of tricks without a lot more points, right? So you might as well pass it and see if you can nip it a trick. You might only get it 1 trick, but that's better than bidding 5 diamonds and going minus yourself, right? So these types of hands, when your opponents preempt, the key is to go plus. It's to go plus. You're not trying to get the biggest score anymore. You're trying to make an educated guess, and it's a guess when they put you to this kind of test at this high level, to going plus. So the general rule is balanced hand, you pass for penalties, even though North's takeout double was takeout. With a long suit, then you would go ahead and bid, if you had four or five spades, you go ahead and bid 4 spades. Otherwise, you would if you had, you know, a 6th diamond, I wouldn't want to bid 5 diamonds or 5 clubs without 6 of them. It's just not enough trump to be wandering around at the 5 level, especially with no tricks. Yes, well, West 4 heart bid is very likely to be preemptive to try to keep North and South out of game on this hand. I think that's what your question meant. You would bid 4 hearts just as a strategy bid. The question is, what if you were holding an ace? I would be much more relieved to pass for penalty if I were holding an ace, but it still goes back to the shape of my hand. If I'm balanced, then I pass, and the idea is when you're a balanced hand, it's more defensive, and when you're a distributional hand, it's more offensive. So when you have a balanced hand, you want to defend, and that means passing your partner's takeout double. When you've got an unbalanced hand, some kind of shortness in your hand, then that's an offensive hand. So you would follow your partner's instructions of taking their double out and bidding your longest suit. You want 6 diamonds to bid it. Yes, you want 6 of a minor to take it out. If it goes, if you had a 6th diamond, say you had a singleton heart and a 6th diamond, I would go ahead and bid 5 diamonds. Now I think I have a chance of actually making 5 diamonds if I had a singleton heart and a 6th diamond, because partners double, they're guaranteeing the 4-card major, but they're not guaranteeing 4 of a minor. So I would want at least 9 of the minor, meaning I've got 6 and they've got 3 before I take out to a minor. So well, on this hand, you ignore partners double. I mean, you will be playing 4 hearts doubled, and sometimes they make. And that's the whole idea of preemptive bidding, is to put your opponents to the guess. So you would, on this case, you would pass. With this hand, I would pass. And try to nip it a trick, knowing I have nothing to contribute. Hopefully that partner has 4 tricks in their hand. By the way, what would you lead on this hand? Yeah, if I had 4 spades, had 4 spades in a balanced hand, so say I had 1 less diamond and 4 spades, I would go ahead and pass. If I had a 5th spade, I would bid 4 spades. If I had a singleton heart with 4 spades, excuse me, then I would go ahead and bid it. It's the difference between having a distributional hand and a balanced hand. With a balanced weak hand, even with 4 spades, it would be better to pass and defend. Okay, because it takes so many more points to take tricks with a balanced hand. That's one of the themes today, is realizing is it an offensive hand or a defensive hand. So I asked the question, what would you lead against 4 hearts doubled? And I think there's two choices out there. One's the 10 of spades and one's the 6 of diamonds. And both of those, if I were to lead a spade, I would lead the 10. And if I were to lead a diamond, I would lead the 6. Partners promising me spades though. So when I'm sort of shooting in the dark, I go with what I know partner has. So I would tend to lead a spade over a diamond in this case. The other point I would be thinking about is I only have 3 spades and I have 5 diamonds. So it's more likely that East, that opened 3 hearts, is going to be shorter in diamonds than they are in spades, I should say. So I have more likely of chances of getting more spade tricks than I do in taking more diamond tricks. So when I'm going for a defense, a doubled contract like this, I like to get my tricks fast. So I would prefer a spade over a diamond between partner promising 4 spades in this auction and East being short in diamonds. So either one could work though. I would tend to lead the 10 of spades, though. That would be my choice. I would not lead a heart, and I would not lead a club. So, yeah, it comes down to those two choices. All right. I convinced you. Okay. Let's try another hand. Hand number 7. In this case, our partner opened 1 heart and North passed. Oh, this has lots of options. So let me give you about 30 seconds, figure out what you might bid. You can let me know what you're thinking, and then we'll talk about the different options. 1 spade's definitely a choice. What are some other choices? Two hearts. 1 no trump. And this may be a case we have to decide, we have to discuss 2 different systems, but actually the answer is going to be the same in both. But I can see the different systems coming out. Let's start with the 1 no trump bid. That would be if you were playing 2/1, you would want to make a forcing bid, and then you might come back and raise hearts, but that would show an invitational hand. We aren't strong enough for that. And an even bigger point, even playing 2/1 and forcing no trump, when you have a 4-card suit to bid, a 4-card major, I should say, to bid, you choose to bid 1 spade versus 1 no trump. Don't skip over. By bidding 1 no trump, in other words, you're denying 4 spades. And on occasion, your partner actually has 4 spades. There's a question, what is 2/1? 2/1 is a system that you add to your standard bidding, and you do it when when your partner opens 1 of a suit and you bid a new suit at the 2 level. In standard bidding, that says you've got 11 plus points, 10 high card points and a linked point. I always talk in total points, so 11 or more points. In 2/1, that new suit at the 2 level would now be a game force. So it's just standard on steroids is what I call it. It's a more advanced system of standard American. But on this hand, this actually, you would have the same bid whether you're playing 2/1 or not. But I just wanted to point out to those that were thinking about 1 no trump, you would actually choose to bid 1 spade with this hand. If you have a 5-3 heart fit and you have a 4-4 spade fit, you actually prefer to play in the 4-4 major. So you wouldn't want to jump over the major to bid a no trump. So on this case, if you had enough values. The problem with this hand is it's too weak. Playing 2/1, 1 no trump shows 6 to 12. 6 to 12. Yes, 6 to 8 as well as invitational. So 6 to 12 is the range for forcing no trump bid. But in this case, you'd still want to bid 1 spade. Having said all of that, what you actually want to bid playing standard or 2/1 is bid 2 hearts with the hand. Because let's go through the scenario. Let's say we bid 1 spade, okay, with this hand, playing either system, playing everybody's system here. You bid 1 spade and partner rebids 2 diamonds. They would be showing 5 hearts and 4 diamonds. They'd be showing 12 to 18 points. They're limited now because they didn't jump shift. And you would now have to go back and bid 2 hearts because you don't have enough to jump to 3 hearts. And so that would be showing a doubleton heart. Anytime you give a delayed raise, like 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, you're showing 1 less card in the suit than a direct raise would show. So 1 heart past 2 hearts would show 3 or more card support. 1 heart past 1 spade, past 2 diamonds, past 2 hearts would show 2 card support. Okay, so you just take what does the direct raise show, and the delayed raise shows one less, okay, which doesn't really describe our hand, right? Our hand, we've got 3 trump, and we've got a pretty good looking weak hand. I mean, it's got a doubleton, it's got values in partner's suit. That Queen of Hearts would be an upgrade in partner's 5-card suit. So we have 8 high card points. Then I would upgrade the Queen of Hearts and give it a point. Anytime you've got a king or a queen in your partner's 5-card suit, you want to upgrade, give it an extra point. So that's 9. And then 2, you've got a doubleton, you get a point for the shortness. So that's 10. So 2 hearts playing 2 over 1 would be 8 to 10 points, right? 2 hearts playing standard would be 6 to 10 points. So either system would bid 2 hearts with this hand. Yes, 2 hearts would be showing a constructive raise if you're playing 2 over 1. Yes, which is what you have here. It's just under a limit raise. Just under a limit raise. If you consider this a limit raise, you would bid a spade and then jump to 3 hearts later on for those that play 2 over 1. I wouldn't consider this a limit raise though. I would say this is a constructive raise, a good constructive raise. If partner invites me back, I'm accepting. All invites I'm accepting with this hand. It's a good 2-heart raise, but nonetheless, it is just a 2-heart raise. You would love to explore the spades, but it gets you in trouble on your rebid. You have no way to show partner your 3-card suit later on. You don't have enough points to jump to show a 3-card raise. So when you've got under a limit raise and you've got 3-card support, you just need to raise. You just need to go right there and raise and get it off your chest. And then hopefully partner will take it from there. All right. Any other questions? This was a big one actually, between responding 1 spade and whether to show it as a limit raise. There's lots of interesting ideas in this not so exciting hand. At least we had more points than the last one. The last one didn't have any points at all. All right, let's try another hand. Hand number 8. Okay, another exciting hand here, 2 high card points. All right, we're east and our partner opens a diamond and north bids 2 hearts. All right, 2 hearts would be a weak jump over call. Not so long ago, a couple of decades ago, well, maybe 3 decades ago, in the 70s, 2 hearts was more, it was called an intermediate bid. It's an opening hand. And you'll actually still see some of that at the World Championship levels. Different countries, France particularly, they're very conservative bidders. But for the most part, your assumption would be 2 hearts is weak. Again, this would be the type of hand that you'd want to ask to say, you know, what does it show? Because they don't have to alert it. If it's weak, nobody has to say anything. If it's intermediate, they could have an opening hand. They don't have to say anything. I've actually been caught a few times assuming it was that it was weak when it was actually an opening hand. But usually you can tell from your hand and the rest of the auction whether it was weak or not. In this case, I don't have any intent on bidding over 2 hearts. So I wouldn't ask because I don't need to know right now. It's not going to change my call what they tell me 2 hearts is. So I would go ahead and pass. Then I see South bids 4 hearts. Again, this 4 heart bid could be I've got points and I think we can make 4 hearts, or I've got a bunch of hearts and I want to block West. Very preemptive. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to survive this hand. Everything's good. And then my partner doubles. So now I'm back to what am I going to do? What am I going to bid? Partner clearly has 4 spades. It's takeout. The double would be takeout in this auction. And, you know, I have the choice of bidding 4 spades, or I have the choice of bidding 5 clubs or 5 diamonds. But here's back to a different type of auction, but same idea. When partner makes a high level takeout double, look at your shape. That's what I look at. If I'm balanced, then I go ahead and pass and hope we can set it a trick or two. If I've got distribution, then I pull the takeout double and I bid my longest suit. So you're not happy about it, but partner's showing you a good, I mean, I would expect partner to have like, you know, a good 19 kind of point hand. You couldn't bid over 2 hearts. You couldn't make a negative double, right? Partner knows you're broke over there. So they've got the values. So again, this hand I would go ahead and pass, even though I don't think I have a trick for partner. I'm all over pass here, yeah. And you know what? If they make it, fine. The last thing I want to do is bid 5 clubs and get doubled and go for 1,400. So sometimes sometimes you just have to go minus your 470s or 530s or 590s or whatever your contract is, because sometimes it's cheaper than bidding and getting doubled and going for 1,100 or 1,400 or something kind of that kind of thing. So you no longer play takeout doubles, end at 3 spades. I play a lot of times I play negative doubles through 3 spades. I actually nowadays play negative doubles through 4 hearts, but 3 spades is very common. Takeout doubles I've always played through the 4 heart level. So if my partner can bid a suit at the level I'm bidding on, that I'm doubling on, then I go ahead and treat that as a takeout double. I think maybe you were thinking of negative doubles, because negative doubles it's common to play through 3 spades or 4 hearts, that kind of thing. By the way, the reason I like to play negative doubles through 4 hearts instead of 3 spades, you'll see a lot of articles and a lot of books that say play negative doubles through 3 spades. It's very common. If that's what you and your partner play, that's fine as long as you know what you're doing. It's far more important to know what you're doing. I tend to like to play through 4 hearts because when the auction goes 1 diamond by my partner, 4 hearts on my right, and I'm sitting there with 4 spades in an opening hand, I'd like to be able to say double and let partner know I've got 4 spades. So I play it through 4 hearts. I like to keep my negative double in play on that type of auction. Or if it goes 1 diamond, 4 clubs on my right, I'd like to be able to say double and show 4-4 in the majors at that point. It's more of battling the preempt, because people are so aggressive now with their preempts that we need our system to adjust to their aggressiveness and be able to show partner our majors when our opponents double like that, or excuse me, when our opponents preempt like that. So another exciting hand, but I'd like to tell you, okay, you defend 4 hearts and you nip it a trick. Actually, that's what happens on this particular hand. Because we're in class. In real life, who knows? They might make 4 hearts. But I bet you have a lot of company, which is another thing on this type of hand. It's just staying with the field, not doing something outside the box. So to skew the scores, especially if you're playing match points and that kind of thing. All right, let's move on to the next hand. We're on good pace here. We might actually get through all of our hands, although they're more, I sort of made them a little bit easier to start with, and so we're moving into more difficult hands here. All right, we're west in this case. I think everybody would open a club on this hand. We've got 14 highs, and we hear, oops, I have 2 wests in the top left-hand corner. We open a club, and our north bids 1 spade, and east our partner bids 2 diamonds, and south raises to 2 spades. And now it's back to us. So we're definitely west on this hand. North has overcalled a spade and partners bid 2 diamonds. And then South raised to 2 spades. And so what are our options? There's actually quite a few things we could do with this hand. What are you thinking? 2 no's an option. Would you consider double? I guess you would have to know whether you play support doubles or not. A lot of people play support doubles, so that might, which would say I have 3 diamonds. So that might change what you bid there. 2 no seems to be the more descriptive bid because I have a spade stopper. The trickier hand might be if I didn't have a spade stopper. Say I had 3 little spades and ace, king, queen of hearts. Now that would be more difficult because 2 no here, 2 no would definitely say I've got spades stopped. And it would show a minimum hand. It would show 12 to 14. This is another tricky auction. Why would it show 12 to 14 and no more on this hand by bidding 2 no? I would say if I had 15 to 17, I would have already started with 1 no trump. Yeah, exactly. I didn't open 1 no trump. And if I had more values, if I had, like, say I had 18, then I might bid 3 no, or I might try the double, depending if it was a support double kind of thing. So here, if I didn't have a spade stopper, then I would pass. I would actually pass 2 spades and let my partner take a call. Because my partner's 2 diamond bid, even though it's not a game force for those that play 2/1 anymore, it is forcing 1 round. So partner would have to bid again. East is guaranteeing another bid, in other words. So it would be safe to pass if I had 3 little spades and ace, king, queen of hearts is what I'm saying. With this hand, I agree with you guys that wanted to bid 2 no. Shows a balanced hand. I've got spades stopped and I've got 12 to 14 points. But if I flipped my majors around to where I didn't have a spade stopper, pass would actually be the choice I'd make with this hand. And then let partner either show me the spade stopper if we have one, right? Pass would be denying a spade stopper. If I had a spade stopper, then I would bid 2 no. So if I passed, I'd be denying it, and it may end up that we belong in diamonds instead of 3 no trump if neither one of us have a spade stopper. It's sort of funny. I actually like for my opponents to bid in my auctions because, well, when I have the tools to deal with them, because it tells me what's going on. East and West have now, or excuse me, North and South have now alerted me to the fact that they have spades, and West has 5 of them, usually at least 5 of them. So I wouldn't want to bid 3 no without knowing I have a spade stop. So on this hand, I would definitely bid 2 no and see how it goes. But again, if you flip your majors around, pass would be the call to make. All right. Oh, one more question with this hand. What if it went a club? We opened a club with this hand and North bid a spade and our partner passed and South raised to 2 spades. Now what would you do with this hand? Say partner didn't bid on this auction. A club, a spade, pass, 2 spades. Double would be an option. Double would be showing maybe 17 plus points though. I'm not quite strong enough for that. 2 no would show now 18 to 19 because my partner's a passed hand. Yeah, I'm starting to see lots of passes. Yeah. If partner couldn't bid over a spade and I know partner's got another bid, I'm not going to come back in with my 14 high card points. I'm thinking that West has more like 15 or 16 points for their overcall because my partner was unable to bid anything. And the other thing I would be thinking on this hand is I don't think that my partner has a trap pass of spades, because now spades have been bid and raised and I'm looking at 3 of them. All right, so I would be thinking my partner's broke on this auction. I've already opened a club. They know I have an opening hand and they couldn't do anything over 1 spade. So I'm going to get out and see where they want to go. And maybe they've got a long suit that they want to balance and compete in, but I don't have any more story to tell. Yeah, so I would pass. If East had passed on this hand, I would go ahead and pass on my next turn. But East on this auction that was originally given, bidding 2 diamonds, they're showing values. So I want to get in there and show my spade stopper. It's just amazing. That's what's so amazing about this game, is that you can change 1 bid and the hand that you're looking at changes completely. It's just, you know, 1 bid, 1 person, 1 little change, and it's a whole new discussion of what to do. All right, let's go ahead for the next hand. Hand number 10. All right, on this one we're West, and our partner passes originally. Sometimes that's key, so we'll keep that in mind. South opens a heart, and if, let's see, what I think one of the questions is what would you open if South didn't open in front of you? So we have 21 highs and 22 for the link point. So if South didn't open on this hand, I would count this as a balanced 22 to 24 point hand, and then open 2 clubs and rebid 2 no. But unfortunately, South's made it more complicated, and they've opened 1 heart. So this is the type of hand where we'd start with a double. Partner's going to think we have 4 spades. There's nothing we can do about that. But then we're going to come back later and say, no, partner, I have a big hand, and I don't necessarily have 4 spades. So let's see how this auction might go. Let's say it goes a heart and we double, and partner North passes, and partner bids a 1 spade. Now partner's showing us a bust hand pretty much, right? 0 to 8 points. So our excitement over the hand is not as big anymore. But we don't want to leave partner in 1 spade because we only have 3 of them, and they're counting on us to have 4. So we continue by Q bidding. We bid 2 hearts to say, oh, partner, we've got that big takeout double hand. I've got 3 card support for you, but I don't have the 4th spade you're counting on. Okay, so this Q bid would be showing like 17 to 18 points. And tell me more about your hand. That's what 2 hearts would say. Tell me more about your hand. And let's say over your 2 heart bid, it goes pass by North and partner bids 2 spades. Now at this point, they're on their own. If they're bidding 2 spades, they have at least 5 spades. Because if you had 4 spades with them over their 1 spade bid, you would just raise spades. So by Q bidding, you're showing extra values and you're denying the 4th spade. So let's say they bid 2 spades. Now, what happens to us is we get all excited. We've got an 8 card fit. We're sitting here with 21 points. I'm just going to bid 4 spades. But let's back up a bit and realize that partner's 1 spade bid showed 0 points, right? Not only did they show 0 points, they could have up to 8 points, but they showed 0 points. We forced them to bid with our double. We forced them to bid with our 2 heart bid. So all we really know that's in partner's hand are 5 spades. The second thing that I always think about is I'm about to make partner play a hand. where they don't have very many points. So I would take a precautionary 3 spade raise here. I would bid over 2 spades by partner. I would raise the 3 spades to say, hey partner, I've got 20 to 21 points. If you've got anything at all, let's bid to 4 spades. But if you really are sitting there with 0 points, then it's okay to pass 3 spades. 3 spades would no longer be a forcing bid. So on this auction, it would go 1 heart double by me, by the hand we're looking at, pass 1 spade, pass 2 hearts Q bid. Okay, and I always tell my students, I say, you know, when you're sitting there and you feel like you haven't told your story and you can't figure out a bid that really shows your hand, it's usually a Q bid or a double at that point. Now, since we can't double our partner, we're going to choose the Q bid on this hand. So we bid 2 hearts. Our partner would bid 2 spades. Notice they didn't jump anywhere to say, hey, I'm at the top of my 8 points, partner. But I do have 5 spades. And now we very gently raise the 3 spades to give them an out, to let them pass if they really are completely broke. On this hand, partner would raise to 4 spades, and they would play 4 spades, and hopefully they would make it. Hopefully we'd have enough for them. But the point is, we don't have to jump to game and get all excited when we have a bid in between where we were and where we're going. Why not mention diamonds? Diamonds are beautiful, but once partner bids 2 spades showing us 5 spades, we want to go with the spade suit. Just major over minor idea. If the auction had gone 1 heart double pass, 1 spade pass, and we bid 2 diamonds now, that would show a double and originate. That would show 5 diamonds. That would show 17, 18 points, but our hand is too big to bid 2 diamonds on our rebid. It's too big. We have to start with the Q bid and then come back. Say the auction had gone a heart double pass, a spade pass, and we bid 2 hearts just to show our strength. Okay, Q bidding the opponent's suit, and partner bids 3 clubs. I don't have 5 spades. This is my other 4 card suit partner. Now we come back and bid 3 diamonds because maybe that's where we need to go. Okay. By the way, if East were to bid 3 clubs over our 2 heart bid, going past no trump, I would assume that they don't have a heart stopper on this auction. Okay, they're denying a 5th spade, they're denying a heart stopper, and they're saying, okay, how about clubs, partner? Can we play in clubs? At that point, I would mention diamonds because maybe 5 diamonds is where we want to be, although it's not optimal. But if we don't have a heart stopper, we don't have spade fit, diamonds may come into play at that point. But I would investigate all other avenues before I got to my diamonds. All right, let's try a new one, hand number 11. For East in this case, and we started with a club, and South overcalls a diamond, and West, our partner, bids a heart. Now, just for a quick discussion, for those that are playing negative doubles, this 1 heart bid could only still be 4 card suit. Our negative doubles over a minor and major overcall, doubling would promise the other major. And so bidding the major in that type of situation would show a spade. Say it went a club, a heart by South, a spade by West. That would show 5 spades because the negative double would promise 4. Now, if you don't play negative doubles yet, your partner hasn't added it to your card yet, then the 1 heart bid would show 4 or more in any system. It's just part of the negative double system. Over a minor major would now promise 5 in that case. But over a club, a diamond like we have here, in any system, whether you play negative doubles or not, 1 heart is only promising 4. All right, so having gone into that section, 1 heart pass, and some of the options I'm seeing, 2 spades, 1 spade. And this is what I was hoping for when I created this hand. I thought, oh, this is a good it's a borderline hand which way you would go. One spade would say, I'm limited to 18 points. Two spades would say I've got 19 to 21 points. And it goes more, 2-no would be a possibility as a balanced hand, 18 to 19. What's the flaw with 2-no though is we don't have a diamond stopper. And if we were to bid 2-no in this case, that would promise a diamond stopper. Exactly. So we needed 2-no would be beautiful, right? 18 to 19 points, balanced hand, less than 4 hearts. But we don't have the diamond stopper. So we have to throw 2-no out. Two spades would show 19 to 21 points, just under a 2-club bid. Usually it's an unbalanced hand, but sometimes when you can't, the opponents have been in the auction and 2-no's no longer available, sometimes you could do it with this type of shape. But we don't have enough points, I think. We've got 10 in clubs, 13, 17, 18 high card points. So we don't have enough to bid 2 spades. 2 spades would be 19 to 21, 19 to just under 2-club bid. So it's this is what we call a very heavy 1 spade bid. Very heavy 1 spade bid. 1 spade would say I've got 12 to 18 points, partner, and I've got at least 4 spades on this hand. Now let's say that it goes, let's say we bid 1 spade and South passes and West bids 1 no trump. And then North passes. Now West is showing us a diamond stopper, right? So now we're much more likely to bid 3-no now. We're okay bidding no trump. It's just we couldn't bid 2-no before because we didn't have the diamond stopper. We could raise 1-no to 2-no just to be very specific and say we've got 18, partner, 17 to 18 on this hand. But at the point that our partner bids 1 no trump, they're showing some values now. So I would just bid 3-no and get the auction over with. At the point that partner bids 1 no, they're denying 5 hearts. So 5 or 6 hearts. So I wouldn't worry about playing in hearts at that point. So yeah, it's always trickier. I said before I like having the opponents in the auction because it gives me, I can evaluate my hand better. And sometimes I realize that games I thought I was going to or not, I'm not going there anymore. But then you also have these hands that it makes it more difficult. If South hadn't bid a diamond, we would all rebid 2-no with this hand. But the fact that partner bid a diamond, it's caused us to have to reevaluate and realize, oh, this is a very heavy 1 spade bid. And if partner actually passes your 1 spade, you probably weren't making anything anyway. And they probably shouldn't have bid 1 heart to start with. So it's very unlikely that you get past in 1 spade and we survive. All right. Let's try another one. Hand number 12. Oh, this one's fun. Okay. We've opened a no trump. Okay, and it's gone past, and our partners bid 2 clubs Stayman. Okay, and if you don't play Stayman yet, 2 clubs Stayman means, partner, I have 8 or more points, and I have at least 1 4-card major. Tell me about your 4-card major. And if North had passed, the scenario is that North doubles. So if North passes, East would bid 2 diamonds to say, thanks for asking, partner, but I don't have a 4-card major. But in this case, North doubles, saying that they have clubs. That is called a lead direct double. and it says they have at least 5 or 6 clubs. The lower the level, the longer their suit is, with like two of the top 3 honors. I mean, they've got a reason. They want partner to lead a club. They know you're not staying in 2 clubs doubled, even though it's considered a penalty double. You're not staying in 2 clubs because 2 clubs is artificial. But they want partner to lead a club. All right, so you and your partner have to work out what your system is over when they double your artificial bids. Okay, so on this particular hand, what I suggest that you play is East would pass, in this case, to deny a 4-card major, but to show a club stopper. And this takes some logic to remember, because you think, well, why don't I just bid 2 diamonds? The key on this hand is now all about the club stopper, because they're going to lead a club, right? And if it turns out that you guys don't have an 8-card major, you're going to want to be in 3-no. So anytime your artificial bid is doubled, all of the focus of the partnership turns to, do we have a stopper in that suit, just in case we don't have an 8-card major. So in this case, what you do is you pass to deny a 4-card major, but it shows a club stopper. If you didn't have a 4-card major and you didn't have a club stopper, then you'd respond 2 diamonds. Okay, but you're going to have to share this with your partner, because it's not a standard bidding. It's an agreement between the partnership. Okay, so on this hand, East, if you have this agreement, East would pass. It denies a 4-card major, because if you had a 4-card major, you'd just bid it. And if you, but it shows a club stopper. So partner knows that no trump is okay, that no trump can be played in because you're promising a club stopper. I'll give you a second to write that one down, because that might not be in your on your convention card there. So just to repeat, is it alertable? Yes, it's alertable. And it doesn't have a name. I don't think anyone has died recently that has a name for it. It's just an agreement over when the opponents double your artificial bids. Why not 2-no? 2-no, when partner bids Stayman, the 3 options that you have are 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, and 2 spades. Okay, 2-no is not ever an option because it takes partner out of the auction. With the double, now you have the new option of passing to show or deny a club stopper. Okay, so passing shows its club stopper, but denies a major. If you didn't have the club stopper, then you'd bid 2 diamonds. I wish there was a name for it. We could come up with a name for it if we wanted to be creative, but there's not it's just part of the understanding of, you could call it Stayman interference if you wanted to put something on your convention card, just as a reminder, just as a recall mechanism. And if you have the agreement, it would be alertable. Yes, because you know something about your partner's hand that the opponents don't know. And by the way, my philosophy on alerting is you can never alert too much. I'd much rather over alert, have my opponents tell me that it's not an alert, than fail to alert when it is an alert. And it's pretty funny when they let me know whether it's an alert or not. I go, okay, that's a good. Thank you for that information. So I'd much rather over alert. You can't get in trouble for over alerting, by the way. You do get in trouble for under alerting. So when in doubt, alert. yes, this double would be a lead direct double, and you can use it over transfers. You can use it over Jacobi to no or responses to 4no, asking for aces or key cards. What would your alert say? I would say alert, and then if they asked me, I would say my partner's denying a 4-card major, but promising a club stopper. I'd tell them exactly what my agreement was on the hand. And if my partner bid 2 diamonds over the double, I would alert that and say my partner is denying a 4-card major, which 2 diamonds always does, but he's also denying a club stopper, and be very specific to that. And then I've told them everything I know. And I've also told my partner what I think they have. So if they didn't really want to know what I had, what my alert meant, they probably shouldn't have asked. Because it doesn't come up a lot. It's a hard one to remember. You need to put something on your convention card to remind you that. Or if you have system notes, put it up in the first section that says, you know, hard to remember things. But it's great when it comes up if you have that agreement. It can keep you out of bad 3 no's, because otherwise you just bid 2 diamonds with or without a club stopper, and partner doesn't know whether they can bid no trump or not, right? Because our 1 no trump opener didn't promise a club stopper, and now we're on notice that they're going to lead a club. So we got to know whether we have a club stopper now. Otherwise, we don't care, because they might not ever lead a club. All right, so that's a new system thing. If you have more, 2 diamonds means no major and no club stopper. Correct. Yes. Passing says I don't have a 4-card major, but I do have a club stopper. 2 diamonds says I don't have either. All right. And by the way, at the end of all of our time together today, if you have any questions about what we've discussed when you download the handout and you have questions about the hands, just shoot me an email. I'll be happy to go back over any of the hands that we went through today. All right, let's try hand number 13. This is a fun one. Okay. So it goes pass to us, east, our hand here. So this looks like, I think we would all open 3 diamonds with this hand. That thing about not preempting with a void, that applies usually at the 2 level only. Once you get to the 3 level, now you could have a void, you could have a 4-card major, you could have anything, any kind of thing. You want to be able to preempt. Yeah, it's a crazy hand. You want to be able to preempt your 7-card suit without restraint. So neither are vulnerable on this hand. So this is a strong 3 diamond bid in my book. South, we open 3 diamonds and South bids 4 no. And West passes and North bids 5 clubs. Now that could be all sorts of things. Let's say it's 0. It's showing 0 aces. It could be 0 key cards. We'll play 30-14 for discussion's sake. And it goes pass and South bids 6 spades. He was hoping for more, but his partner disappointed him, so he bid only 6 spades. And then it goes pass to you. So what would you like partner to lead? We'd love for partner to lead a heart, right? If we could somehow tap our chest to get a heart lead, right? or somehow get a heart lead, right? There's actually a bid for this, and it's called a Lightner double. Lightner, Lightner double. It's a person's name. He's no longer with us, but it was his double. And what it is it's an out of the blue double at the 6th level, right? What is a preemptive hand? Partner has to be saying, why is partner doubling? They preempted in this auction. They can't possibly have, 2 aces. But what partner's doubling on is they have a void somewhere, which is much more logical because they've opened 3 diamonds, right? So odds are, anyway, that they've got a void versus having 2 aces. So it says to partner, find my void. So partner looks over their hand and they lead their longest suit. What it says is don't lead the suit I've bid. I'm not setting it if you lead a diamond, right? They know I've got bunches of diamonds. They've got shortness in diamonds. And it says don't lead a trump. So you're narrowed down to 2 suits when this type of auction comes up, okay? So it's when the opponents have bid to 6 of a suit, or 7 of a suit for that matter. We're discussing 6 of a suit here, but it could work at 7 as well. And you just out of the blue double, okay? It says partner of the 2 remaining suits, not the trump suit and not the suit I've bid. Sometimes they've bid up to 6 and there's 3 suits available. That's a little trickier, okay? But it says partner, find my shortness, which is usually your length, okay? So let's say Wes was sitting there with 6 hearts and 3 clubs. Well, it's going to be easy for them. They're going to lead a heart. You're going to trump it. You're going to cash your ace of diamonds and set the hand, right? On a non-heart lead, the opponent's probably going to wrap 6 spades around you because you didn't get your ruff. So it's important to be awake. Usually when we preempt, we sort of go to sleep. I know I do. I preempt because a general rule is once you preempt, you're done. It's partner who does all the fighting after that, right? Because you've told your story with your preempt. And so I usually, okay, I've preempted, I wait. But occasionally, when they get to the 6th level, you need to take another look at your hand and make sure that there's not some kind of lead that partner can make that you would really like. And on this one, we'd really like a heart lead. I can tell you that it doesn't always work out. In the 2010 semifinals of the World Open Teams, it was actually in Philadelphia that year. It was the semifinals, so there were 4 teams. And so there were 4 results of this hand, and they all got to 6 hearts. They all doubled for a Lightner lead. None of the partners found the correct lead, and they all went minus 1290 or whatever the score was. So even at the top levels, sometimes it doesn't work out. It's harder for partner to find your shortness than you realize. But on most hands, it's easy for partner to figure out what your shortness is because they've got length there. Let's see, I got some questions here. Aren't north-south a good position to have void and diamonds? Well, that's an interesting question because partner didn't raise to 5 diamonds. If partner had 4 diamonds, then I would expect over 3 diamonds, 4 no, 3 diamonds by me, 4 no by South. I would expect my partner with 4 diamonds to raise to 5 diamonds. So my partner's lack of bidding, raising my diamonds, and that's just based on the law of total tricks, law of total trumps. If when you have 11 diamonds, you preempt to the 5 level. Okay, so if I've got 7 and partner's got 4, they should have been bidding 5 diamonds over 4 no. So I would say from that indication that my partner doesn't have at least 4 diamonds. So it's very likely that my opponents have at least 1 diamond each. Yeah, and when partner leads a heart, you have to try very hard to keep your poker face on. Because this is the type of hand you're like, oh my gosh, partner, you got the message. But like I said, sometimes even the best of the best, they can't figure out what to lead. So you're taking a chance. But hey, if they're going to make 6 spades, let's say they're vulnerable, that's 1430. If you double them, it's not very many more points that they make. And if you can set them and go plus 100 instead of minus 1430, what you're betting on is a lot less loss. Is a lot, you gain far more than when they make it. So it's worth the double if it comes across your mind. If you wanted a club lead, you could have doubled 5 clubs for sure. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. When they start bidding for no and answering, check and see when you want a suit lead. It's a little crazy to double 5 clubs with a void though, but it works because they might just redouble and play 5 clubs redoubled on you. You don't know, especially on this hand, South bid 4 no. You don't know where they're going. You don't know what their suit is, but it's certainly an option. Usually when you bid, you double 5 clubs, you're showing strength, you're showing honors, but you did preempt. So partners should figure out that you've got a void there. But it might turn out not so good if South's suit was clubs and you end up defending 5 clubs redoubled. That's the flip side of that. That can get a little expensive. But what you do is if it goes 5 clubs and you double because you've got a void, right? You want a club lead. And then it goes redouble, pass. Well, just hightail it to 5 diamonds. Don't sit around for 5 clubs redoubled. It's a lot less expensive to bid 5 diamonds in that case. And then they'll probably continue bidding there. So you usually survive. That's sort of a survival type of bid, but I like it. You could definitely get partner to lead a club there. And that should be what you mean, is that you've got shortness there. Absolutely. And I had a comment that you guys would like the handouts before we start, and I will certainly send that out in a separate email. I'm all new to this technology, so I'm trying to figure out what you're getting and what you're not getting through the webinar program. And I thought that the handout would be going out with your reminder yesterday, but obviously it didn't. So I will make a point for our future seminars to send you the handouts in advance so you can print them and take notes on them in advance there. So you've got more time to print them and stuff like that. All right, let's move on. So that's called a Lightner double. That's definitely something you want to share with your partner because it's definitely worth the value there. All right, see you later, May. Good luck at band today. Okay. Let's try hand number 14. We've got, we might get through them here. It's 11:42. I know some of you guys have to go play bridge. And I actually will have this, assuming I can work the technology. I've been recording this, and hopefully I'll send an email out to you also that you can print off the notes and then watch it again. Or if you're having to leave early, you can watch the tail end of it, and I'll send you out that link. I have to play with all the technology. Like I said, this is a big learning curve for me, but hopefully you'll have it all in your inbox, and everything will work lovely for that. Okay, 2 spades by South, and here we have what do we have? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 high card points. All right, so what we were planning on doing was to open 1 no trump, but South has opened 2 spades in our face. And so now we have to reevaluate, and standard bidding is that 2 no actually shows a no trump overcall now. Okay, so if they'd opened 1 spade, we would have overcalled 1 no trump. When they open 2 spades, we can overcall 2 no trump. It shows the same 15 to 18. Remember, the 18 is considered and is part of the no trump overcall. Balanced hand shows a stopper. We have some extra values here, so it's not a question like our very first hand today, where we might have passed vulnerable, right? Because we've got 16 highs here. So we could go ahead and bid 2-no. If we do that, make sure your partner realizes that all systems are on. Okay, 3 clubs would be stamen, 3 diamonds would be transfer, 3 hearts would be transfer. If you play Texas, 4 diamonds would be transfer, 4 hearts would be transfer. It's as if you've bid a no trump. Okay, so all of your stamens on, all of your transfers are on, whatever your system is on. But partner's only showing 15 to 18 points. Okay, it might sound like 20 to 21. I get that question a lot, but it's not 20 to 21. All right, you didn't open it. It's because you've overcalled over a week to bid. It's a very specific meaning. So 2 spades, 2-no with this hand. And I know you only have queen third of spades. I would rather have ace king third of spades. I am with you on that. But you've got to get your hand across, especially with the preempt. It might go 2 spades, you bid 2-no, and North might bid 4 spades on you, right? So you've got to get in and show partner it's your hand, so partner knows what to do when it comes back over to them. Yeah, this is with yes, your stamen and your transfers are on without interference by North, correct. If you play some kind of Lebensal, which is hard enough to spell, much less to play, you could play a Lebensal over the 2-no. But yes, the stamen and the Jacobi transfers and the Texas transfers would generally be off in competition. So that you have to discuss with your partner. But yes, what I was discussing is when North passes and doesn't interfere. Oh, actually, if it goes 2 spades, 2-no, 3 spades, now 4 diamonds and 4 hearts would actually still be, well, 4 hearts you wouldn't be transferring into their suit, but you could still play Texas in that case. But that's getting detail oriented. The big idea of this hand is 2-no trump over a week 2 bid shows the 15 to 18 no trump and not the 20 to 21 point hand. All right, and then your systems would be on over that. All right, and number 15, it goes pass by east, 4 spades by south, and west passes, and you have this gorgeous hand. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking my partner's got 4 spades. I mean, excuse me, 8 spades. Opened 4 spades, showing 8 spades. Could have only 7 spades if he had a side 4-card suit, but odds are he's got 8 spades. And so I just need to know how many controls he has. I'm not thinking 7, because if my partner had ace king of spades and ace of diamonds, they would have opened 1 spade. They wouldn't have opened 4 spades. It's too many points, right? So my goal is to decide whether I've got enough for 6 spades only, or if I need to be signing off. Passing 4 spades would just be a give up bid. If partner's got the ace king of spades, which is very possible, I have got good shots of making 6 spades. So I would want 4-no would be key card, or if you play straight Blackwood. Let's start with 4-no showing straight aces. Okay. In this case, for those that are playing key card, okay, I know we've got a mixture of everybody doing something on this kind of thing. 4-no, in fact, would be key card because there's no space to set trump and bid 4-no. Okay, but let's go back to 4-no being straight aces. Okay, if 4-no was straight aces, partner might bid 5 diamonds to show you 1 ace, but you don't know about the king of spades, right? And so you have to guess. You have to guess whether to bid 6 spades or not. Maybe partner has the king of spades, maybe partner doesn't have the king of spades, right? And so it's not even really, it's not even really a 50-50 shot. Probably more likely he's got the king of spades because he's got 8 of them. But on a bad day, maybe he opened 4 spades with ace, 10, 9, 8 of spades, right? Would be reasonable. I've got 8 of them, right? And now I'm off the ace of diamonds in a spade trick. But if I played key card, just to show you the value of key card, eventually you want to add it, then partner would be showing you the ace, king of spades in his response. So let's say it goes 4 spades past 4 no, and partner bids 5 diamonds showing 1 key card. Now you know you're either off the ace of spades and the ace of diamonds, or the king of spades and the ace of diamonds, right? In other words, you're off 2 key cards. So you would know 100% to sign off in 5 spades. So this is an example of where key card really helps the agreement. Now, having said that, for those that have added key card, it's always, well, would this be key card or would this be straight aces? Anytime you don't have space to set trump, to say, hey, partner, I like your trump, it is assumed that the last bid is trump. If there's space to set trump between that suit and 4 no, then it is assumed to be straight aces. But in this case, it's 4 spades. 4 no is the next bid. You have no space to say, hey, I like spades, partner. So 4 no, assuming your partnership plays key card already, would be key card for spades. And it would be very helpful on this hand. Now, the question would be, why not Q-bid controls? Well, you could Q-bid 5 clubs to show the ace of clubs. And let's say partner bids 5 spades. Well, they would be denying the ace of diamonds, but you wouldn't know anything about the ace, king of spades. In other words, bidding controls helps with side suits, but it doesn't do any good for the trump suit. So what you need to be able to do is ask about the trump suit, and that's where key card helps you. You actually already also have a choice of 4 spades past 5 spades would be asking partner what controls they have in the spade suit. If they have only one control, then they should pass, and if they have 2 or more, then they should bid 6. But that's a very old-fashioned bid. If your partnership plays key card, that would be a better method, because then partner could actually show you the queen of spades as well. But that's for another day. If your partnership doesn't play that yet, then you bid 4 no, partner shows you 1 ace, and you have to guess whether to bid 5 spades or 6 spades. And you know, you might as well go for the slam bonus in those situations when you can't tell. All right, last hand coming up. Let's see, 1 club. We're north in this case, and we started with 1 club. And east bids 1 heart, south bids 1 spade, and pass back to us. So we have some choices. What are some bids out there? Pass is not an option because partner made a forcing bid, so we'll take that off the table. What are some other choices? 1 no comes to mind, right? 2 spades comes to mind. 2 no, we don't have quite enough points for, because 2 no here would show actually 18 to 19 points, because we'd be jumping to 2 no. We don't have enough for that. 2 spades, partner is showing us 5 spades here, so 2 spades is definitely doable. I've got 3 spades, partner, and I've got a minimum hand. I would actually, and there's nothing wrong with a 2 spade bid, by the way, because partner's showing us 5 spades in this auction, assuming you play negative doubles. Let's go back. If your partnership doesn't play negative doubles, you don't know partner has 5 spades, and you would rebid a no trump all day long. For those that have added negative doubles to their system, then I would know partner has 5 spades, and I could go ahead and raise to 2 spades. This particular hand, though, this is one of those ugly duckling shapes. I actually would choose to bid 1 no trump with this hand to slow partner down, to say I've got, partner doesn't know that you've got 3 spades. You're not necessarily denying 3 spades. You're just saying my hand looks more like a no trump bid, and I've got heart stopper. And if you were to play no trump on this hand, you would much prefer to play it from your side so that the heart lead comes into your side. Okay. But having said that, over 1 no trump, if partner continues to bid, I would come back and say, hey, by the way, I have 3 spades. That's very technical though. Going with 2 spades to set your trump is a good way of doing it. It may just turn out that 3 no is a better place to play on this hand instead of 4 spades in our 5-3 fit. With the same idea of the Stayman hand that we had in the first hour, to slow partner down when you've got the 4-3-3 hand. And then if the bidding continues, you can come back and raise spades later. But that's a very picky kind of thing right there. So if you all raise 2 spades, that would be fine because partner has 5. But like I said, yes, and if you delayed support, you would be only showing 2 spades. That is a big, big, big point. That's mostly by responder. As opener, you may bid no trump and then come back and raise to give partner an option of playing in the spade suit, and it not necessarily show 2. But I would stick with that idea. I like that idea. If you delayed support, it would show less than what your immediate support would show. I'm just saying I would choose 1 no just to slow partner down. 2 spades is very exciting for partner because now you have a fit. But it's very close. It's very close which 2 suits you would bid. Okay, well, I'm through all the hands. Do you have any general? We've got a few more minutes. I know a lot of people are leaving to go play bridge and stuff like that. I've got just on the very last slide, what I'm going to do is next Wednesday at this same time, I'm going to do some hands for defending. So we're going to talk about defense, and I will send out the handout before so you have a chance to print it. And I'll send out the invite and all that kind of thing, and you can sign up for it. But if you have any questions, you can either send them to my email, which is on the screen. These seminars are free for the VIPs. Like I said, you guys have you're either band patron members, or you've ordered things off my website, or you've been to mini lessons at regionals, that kind of thing. I'll have seminars in the future that I'll have some kind of charge for. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But this is just my way of getting back into teaching while I'm on the road, and working out the kinks and figuring out how to do this and that kind of thing. I've put a bunch of stuff on my website, new materials and things like that. You can scroll through the new materials if you see topics that you would like to see a seminar on. I would love to hear about that. I can put seminars together for any topic that I have on the website. And you can also post questions on my blog, which is up there, playbetterbridge.wordpress.com. I'm also doing I'm writing on the blog a signaling discussion this week, so you can go and read through the discussions and post questions and that kind of thing. So it's just a way to keep in touch with everyone. And if you don't have any other questions, I'll be in touch, and hopefully you can join me next week. Next week I'll be in Tunica, Mississippi, and I'll be talking about defense. And meanwhile, you've got my email, you've got my blog and everything, and hop on the website, look through the lessons. Like I said, every day I'm adding more materials. And send me some topics that you would be interested in hearing a webinar on, and I'll work on putting that together. And oh, you don't see my picture on your screen. It's something on your, I'll have to see what it might be on your computer. Maybe we can work when we're not on the webinar. That's the kind of thing I have to work out. My picture should be on the left-hand side of your screen. if I'm there. So there must be something with your computer setting. Oh, you got the picture now. Okay, good. All right, but thank you guys for coming. I'm so excited to be back teaching. And if you're at the Irvine section regional this week, I'm doing a mini lesson live tomorrow on Thursday. So I'll see you there, and let me know if you were on this session. I'd love to know. I see all your names, but sometimes faces I'm not so sure about. But anyway, I will see you guys next week, if not before. And thank you very much for coming. See you later. Bye. Yeah.